What should diabetics eat? How should she be fed? 7 recipes for diabetics. Diet recommendations for diabetics. Diabetes is a disease of our time that is highly hereditary and is partly due to nutrition. Although it is annoying to be cautious about sugar consumption among people, the truth is not only sugar. It is a condition that can be seen from children to adults with a high probability. The main reason is insufficient insulin secreted by the pancreas. It becomes chronic with an increase in the amount of sugar in the blood due to a deficiency of this hormone. The pancreas produces the insulin needed by the body. Diabetes also results from a lack of insulin production. This chronic disease, which is observed almost all over the world, greatly affects the nutrition of a person. Sometimes it is diagnosed in childhood. Sometimes it occurs at later ages. With age, hypertension also appears in most people. Added to the rush of life is the worry about what blood pressure and diabetes patients should eat. Heart disease also shows up in very tired bodies when talking about blood pressure and diabetes. Now you have to be more careful about everything. Question marks come to mind about what heart and diabetes patients should eat. Although it does not completely eliminate all diseases, at least with a healthy diet that reduces its effects, everything will improve. In this article we have prepared a nutrition guide by taking advantage of the opinions of nutritionists so that diabetics do not think about what they should eat and drink. We start our article by saying health first. Glucometer. What should diabetics eat? 1. Healthy carbohydrates. It is recommended to eat carbohydrates to give energy to a person throughout the day. Carbohydrates are also included in a healthy diet program. Carbohydrates should also be eaten by diabetics. Carbohydrates are divided into simple and complex. The group that diabetics should consume will be complex carbohydrates. When they consume fruit, whole grain products, and legumes like peas and lentils, and low-fat dairy products instead of sugary foods, their blood sugar doesn't suddenly rise. If you stay away from white flour in your carb options, the sudden spike in your blood sugar will be prevented. Brown grains should be preferred in grain products, since the glycemic index of foods prepared with white flour is very high. Your blood sugar may rise suddenly. 14 healthy foods with the lowest carbs. Legumes. 2. Foods are a source of fiber. Fiber regulates blood sugar, allows food to be digested more easily. Diabetics should prefer fibrous foods in the foods they eat during the day. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, whole wheat flour foods and whole wheat products can be dietary preferences. List of foods that contain fiber. 14 foods that are high in fiber. Fruit bowl. 3. Unsaturated fats. Diabetics will of course have fats in their food, but the oil used must be monounsaturated or polyunsaturated fat. They may prefer almonds, walnuts, olives and olive oil. However, we should not forget that fats also have a high calorie content and it should be remembered that consumption should be done in moderation. Diabetics should be more careful about fat when making a list of what to eat. The oils used from breakfast to dinner should be healthy oils. It is recommended not to choose oils of animal origin. It is recommended to use olive oil in an omelette and drink it in soup in the evening. What is the difference between saturated and unsaturated fats? Foods that contain unsaturated fats. Almonds. 4. Consuming healthy bread. Bread made with white flour contains concentrated carbohydrates. Those who cannot do without bread in their meals can protect their health by eating whole grain bread or wholemeal bread. While eating bread, it is still necessary to take precautions. Which bread should be eaten in a diet? Bread. 5. Sodium. Pickles and canned foods are foods rich in sodium. Another factor that threatens the health of diabetics is the high amount of sodium in the blood. When you want to include pickles with your meals, you can opt for low-sodium, unsalted pickles. The consumption of pickles should be moderate for people with blood pressure and diabetes. You can eat pickles daily. For example, you can eat purple sauerkraut prepared in the morning, or sauerkraut prepared in tomato paste the night before. Since the sodium in these foods will be lower, they are on the list of healthy options. Diabetes symptoms, causes, herbal treatment methods. Pickle. 6. Beware of sugary foods. The biggest problem for diabetics is the ebb and flow of blood sugar. It can rise and fall suddenly. This will make you more annoyed. You should avoid foods that contain granulated sugar. You will have to make up for this with jam, which did not detract from your breakfasts and can be enjoyed with fresh bread. It is believed to be healthy because it is made from the fruit, but it contains a high percentage of sugar. You can satisfy your jam preferences with natural puree. It would be an option to consume special jams made without sugar. 7. Meat and its products. Of course, diabetics prefer meat products in their menus. But there is a detail that deserves attention: the method of cooking the meat and the oil used. Instead of fried meat, you can choose boiled or oven-cooked meat dishes. It would be better to choose skinless meat in chicken dishes. Fried foods are an ingredient that will affect the health of diabetics. Foods made with frequently used oils are also a case everyone should watch out for. Not just diabetics. Diabetics should always consume fresh meat. A diet should be prepared by avoiding processed or frozen meat. What do pregnant women eat? 8. Balancing blood sugar. By choosing foods that regulate blood sugar, you can maintain your sugar balance throughout the day. You can lower your blood sugar by eating 1 teaspoon of cinnamon with milk or yogurt daily, with onions that you add to your meals or eat in salads. Your blood sugar will stay balanced throughout the day. Don't miss your water bottle. With water, you can rejuvenate your body and keep your blood sugar level under control. What should diabetics eat? A frequently asked topic has also been examined by Ibrahim Sirajolu. He noticed that diabetics became lethargic once their blood sugar was low. I did research on this. As a result of his research, he stated that the blood sugar of diabetics who eat boiled potatoes for dinner remains in balance. What lowers sugar? 12 types of foods that help stabilize blood sugar. Mashed potato. 9. Nutrition in Ramadan. Fasting for diabetics is a frequently discussed topic by doctors. It should be noted that diabetics who think, "What should diabetics eat in Ramadan?" should be fed first under the supervision of a doctor. Diabetics who want to fast should be fed as if they were eating breakfast at sahur. They should remove the salt from their table and add a lot of greenery. They should include fresh nuts and consume their fruits in small portions. The breakfast. 7 recipes for diabetics. 1. Innocent snack. Cookies for diabetics. The most important rule that diabetics should pay attention to is the amount of sugar in foods. Therefore, sugar is also in the prohibited group. With this delicious cookie, you can satisfy your sweet needs in the healthiest way possible. Diabetic cookies. Diabetic cookies. 2. Diabetes diet dumplings. You can prepare delicious recipes for a healthy diet with cauliflower. By trying this recipe, you will add a light pastry flavor to your diabetic diet. Making pastries with yufka has become a thing of the past. Cauliflower dumplings diet for diabetics. Cauliflower dumplings diet for diabetics. 3. Diabetes history topics. Spend healthy snacks with delicious date balls, which are as cute as their name. Fiber plays an important role in a diabetic's diet. Thanks to this recipe made from oatmeal, it will easily be included in the diet of diabetics. Diabetes topics. Diabetes topics. 4. Delicious molasses cake, sugar-free and diabetes-friendly. The sugar needs of diabetics can be met with natural molasses. Dessert cravings will end with this delicious cake recipe. You must try the delicious flavor that combines with hazelnuts, walnuts and cinnamon. Molasses cake. Molasses cake. 5. Halawa for diabetics, with its fragrant smell, envelops the kitchen. After a little effort, the kitchen smells after making halva. The delicious smell of halva spreads throughout almost the entire apartment. Shouldn't diabetics also get their share of this delicious scent? Here is the taste of semolina halva with its recipe for diabetics. Diabetic semolina. Diabetic semolina. 6. Gluten-free buckwheat diabetes cookies. We came with a delicious cookie for those who are sensitive to gluten and those who are concerned about their diet due to diabetes. Black wheat cookies with you in full size and delicious taste. Gluten-free buckwheat diabetes cookies. Gluten-free buckwheat diabetes cookies. 7. Diabetic raisin muffin. This time around, the muffins are flavored for diabetic nutrition. Prepared with the effect of cinnamon to stabilize blood sugar. These pancakes will be greatly admired. It would be great with sugar-free Turkish coffee.